Everyone loves a good thriller, right? How about one of the forefathers of the thriller? The man who told of telling hearts, the man who gave a new life to ravens and black cats. This WebQuest guides students through an investigation into the life, work, and footprints of Edgar Allan Poe. In this WebQuest, you will brainstorm what it takes to be a thriller, a chiller, or just a regular horror story. Focus on the images that evoke such labels. Learn about the darkness within Poe's personal life, the darkness beyond his stories, not to forget the mystery surrounding his death. Read to better understand and possibly further enjoy The Raven, using an online interactive version of the piece which gives word definitions and points out poetic devices in each stanza. Lastly, you'll create a movie poster for The Raven. Time to begin. Say hi to your partner, ask how their day has been, and then focus. We're on a journey here, a journey into the darkness, the eerie. Brainstorm with your partner and really analyze what makes a scene in a scary movie. Think about the lighting, the images, and the sounds. Think about the greatest horror films you have ever watched, the ones that made you squirm, the ones that made you think, the ones that made you stay up all night watching reruns of The Brady Bunch and eating Captain Crunch. Discuss these movies with your partner. Think about what elements made these movies scary. What images do you remember? Pick one of these images and write a description as if you are trying to make another person visualize the exact same image in your mind. Now that you understand the style, you can turn your attention to one of the forerunners of Gothic literature, Edgar Allan Poe. Before we dive further into his work, let's take a look at the man behind the gory tales. Use the following websites to answer the questions in your WebQuest roadmap. Now that you've learned about Poe's life, let's take a look at his poem, The Raven. Go through the poem using the following interactive website until we come back together as a class. If you run your mouse over highlighted words, definitions will appear as well as comments on poetic devices. So click and explore. Now, in groups, you are going to design a movie poster for The Raven. The movie you are depicting could be a comedy, horror, drama, which should be reflected in the images you create. Think about The Raven. I want you to brainstorm on your notebook paper which scene of the poem would make a good design for the movie poster. Which parts of the poem catch your interest if you knew nothing about the poem? Now I want you to think about the narrator in the poem. Think about the type of person that character is. Think also about the way he looks physically. Now choose an actor that you think would be the best to play the role of the narrator in your movie. Write a short paragraph on why this actor is the best for that role. Now you may use computer images, magazine pictures, or hand-drawn posters. Remember to use details from Poe's life as well as from the poem. You will then present your poem to the class. Literature isn't always about picking out the main idea or beating you over the head with the proper use of MLA format. It's about creativity and maybe even, gasp if you must, reading for fun. Poe is usually a big hit. If you are interested, intrigued, or just grossed out, then stick with Poe. However, Gothic literature had more of a purpose than to entertain. It pushed the limits. It paved the way for other genres like the detective story, science fiction, fantasy, and thrillers. Through the fantastical, Poe offers truths about human nature and society, truths that possibly couldn't be captured in realistic fiction. I hope you enjoyed Poe and the WebQuest.